The big story at this hour, China's largest ever military exercises encircling Taiwan have kicked off, and this is a show of strength after US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan that China had warned against. Now, Taiwan Defense Ministry says that China has fired multiple ballistic missiles. Let's go across to Maha for more on this. Maha, those military exercises clearly being scaled up by China.
Well, absolutely. And the confirmation that ballistic missiles have been fired coming from both sides, the Taiwan Defense Ministry as well as the Chinese PLA, both confirming that ballistic missiles have been used in the live fire military drills that China is carrying out to express its displeasure and show its force to Taiwan after Nancy Pelosi's visit. The Ministry of National Defense in Taiwan has stated that multiple Dongfeng series ballistic missiles into the surrounding waters of northeastern and southwestern Taiwan were fired approximately around 1:56 p.m. local time. So these details have come in already. What is also concerning over here, Priyanshi, is the fact that these live fire drills are being conducted which surround Taiwan and well within their maritime territory is what Taiwan says, within 12 nautical miles. Now, the argument by the Chinese side is that they consider Taiwan as their own and therefore this entire stretch is theirs. They are not violating any maritime or air defenses of any other country because of the one China policy. Taiwan is theirs and therefore they are free to conduct this military drill. But clearly, this is a show of force. And we have seen statements coming from G7, other European Western countries. We have seen a cautious statement coming from ASEAN countries as well. These are the smaller Southeast Asian countries which China has, in fact, on many occasions been bullying as well. China, of course, denies those claims that it ever bullies these countries. But the fact is that Taiwan and the Taiwan Strait is important to control for China for the same reason that they want a territorial and maritime hegemony in some sense over these smaller countries and in South China Sea as well. Now, these countries have come out with a cautious statement. They are urging restraint by China, but on the other hand, also suggesting and saying that these countries independently on their own accord recognize one China policy. So a cautious statement there from ASEAN.
Right, Maha, as you said, definitely a major show of force by the Chinese side in the tensions between China and Taiwan, as both sides have now confirmed that China has fired ballistic missiles. This is a major development, and Parmeshwar is also joining us on this. Parmeshwar, what can you add about the details of this?
Thank you, Priyanshi. Just adding on to what Maha has already shared with us, China has launched several Dongfeng ballistic missiles into waters around Taiwan's northeast and southwest coasts, according to state media and agency reports. Now, Dongfeng missiles are those operated by Chinese People's Liberation Army, and Taiwan's defense ministry has said it had activated related defense systems in response to this launch, adding that it condemned China's irrational action, which destroys regional peace. So what we do know at the moment is a US aircraft that can track ballistic missiles in flight has taken off from Japan and is currently heading towards Taiwan. Meanwhile, analysts had warned that one scenario could be that China is preparing to fire ballistic missiles to splash down in the exclusion zones very close to Taiwan's coast. That is what China did back in 1996, the last time tensions between Beijing and Taipei got this bad. But this time, the exclusion zones are much closer to Taiwan. So there is also concern over the fact that one of the exclusion zones is to the east of Taiwan in the Pacific Ocean. Meanwhile, analysts also add it's possible that China is preparing to fly a missile over the top of Taiwan to splash down in that zone. That would, of course, be considered a major violation of Taiwan's airspace. But Chinese state media, tightly controlled by the ruling Communist Party, by the way, has called this military exercise unprecedented, and they've also added that this missile launch and naval blockade of the island demonstrate the Chinese mainland's absolute control over the Taiwan question.